Hey, what's going on YouTube? I'm going to try my best to not make this video sound like a witch hunt, but regarding attitudes from gamers, 2013 just simply isn't Electronic Arts' best year. EA was rated worst company in America for the second year in a row, receiving 78% of the votes. EA's CEO resigned and the company is laying off workers in staggering amounts. Many a gamer will not let you forget the horrific handling of SimCity and their blatant lying to consumers. We, the customers who have been loyal to their brands for years, will not let their business practices harm our hobby any longer. Let's take a look at various exhibits showcasing EA's crimes upon gaming, and you can make your own determination as to whether you will continue to buy products from EA. Exhibit 1. Microtransactions in full-priced titles. Gaming took a punch to the gut when EA decided to add in-game, real-world money purchases to Dead Space 3 and had plans to do so in future titles. The thing is, microtransactions are nothing new to games. Gears of War had buyable weapon camos, but they didn't affect gameplay outside of being eye candy. EA, though, is systematically making the base gameplay affected by microtransactions. For years, you have been able to buy shortcuts or bonuses in Madden games, and when Battlefield 3 Premium launched, you could buy a kit shortcut pack. Dead Space 3's microtransactions revolve around weapon crafting, one of the more important and fundamental aspects of core gameplay. Your character could easily become overpowered and you can just pay to win. Even if you try your best to ignore this feature and not pay, gamers don't want to feel like the publisher wants to nickel and dime them. This wouldn't be a problem if it were done to a free-to-play game, mobile game, or a Facebook game, but Dead Space 3 is a big budget game that you have to buy at full price. What's sad is that EA is ignoring the cries of the gaming community and wanting to implement microtransactions into future titles. I don't think that they understand that gamers don't want the ability for others to get ahead by paying them money. It's completely different from Diablo 3's real money auctions, because at least then, you are mostly paying other players and only a small portion of the money goes to Blizzard. The landscape of RPGs like Diablo is far different from the games that EA is putting microtransactions into. The most successful business models with microtransactions have buyable items that don't change the gameplay. Even the new Call of Duty weapon camos don't affect the gameplay. League of Legends is a good model example, because you can buy character skins that don't change the gameplay at all, and guess what? League of Legends is free. If you want to put gameplay changing microtransactions into games, lower the price of your games. Exhibit 2. Deciding who to take to the Battlefield 4 premiere and paying YouTubers to promote their games. For a long while in the Battlefield YouTube community, the Battlefield 4 premiere wasn't even about Battlefield 4 the game. It was about seeing more Call of Duty YouTubers going to the premiere than Battlefield YouTubers going to the premiere. Woody's Gamertag, Whiteboy, Ali A, and others were invited to attend the event. Chris Move was there, but he could make a Farmville or Minesweeper Let's Play and it would be interesting. Of course, big names in the Battlefield community were there, like Level Cap, the indomitable rival X Factor, Frankie, Jack Frags, and the Russian Badger. Please forgive me if I'm missing anybody, but why is it any appreciation towards the established Battlefield community to overrepresent and oversample from the Call of Duty community? You're not showing confidence in supporting your community that way. I'm going to quote the Russian Badger in regards to the Call of Duty players being there. Do you even ship bucket? Do you even M16 foregrip heavy barrel 100 kernel all day? These Call of Duty players only touch Battlefield when it's new and they can get a lot of views, or to re-upload a trailer, or when they're being sponsored. Getting your game out there and having a diverse community for the game is a good goal, but this just isn't fair to the Battlefield community. Some big Battlefielders like Mongol FPS and Matimio were left out. Too many Call of Duty YouTubers went to the premiere, there's no getting around that. Yes, Call of Duty does have a bigger YouTube presence and a lot of Battlefield 4 will be spread through YouTube, but you should have those who are interested in Battlefield progress towards Battlefield YouTubers. You know, the ones that do more than re-upload trailers and actually play the game. It's a novel concept, really. Also, there have been YouTube channels like Woody's Gamertag, Girl Gone Gamer, and Fearcrads, just to name a few, clearly shown supporting and pitching EA games. However, these are mainly Call of Duty channels where 90% of the videos on their channel are exclusively related to Call of Duty. There's a link in the video description to the corresponding game's official product page on an EA site. As a content producer, it's easy for me to recognize that there's a partnership going on. EA is paying for them to promote their games to their audience. There is nothing inherently wrong with playing both Call of Duty and Battlefield, but this plan of marketing shows gross insecurity on the part of EA. I still haven't forgotten the direct attack at Call of Duty they took with Battlefield 3, and you know how that went. I'm not faulting the YouTubers for working with EA. It's normal to want to earn some extra money. Sponsored gaming can be beneficial to all parties. The thing is, no YouTuber has been transparent about this partnership. They haven't announced to their subscribers the reason why they just got up and posted a random new game that just happened to come out or have a new content pack drop. I respect the professionalism of these YouTubers. That's part of the reason why they're so successful, and I don't doubt that they would have been clear about a partnership if they were able to be. The fact that they didn't makes it apparent that EA, most likely as part of the terms of their arrangement, is not allowing them to talk as part of the deal. It's a jerk move by EA. Continuing on where EA went wrong, they should show more confidence in being able to perforate gaming communities. If their game was good enough in the first place, they wouldn't have to force feed it down the throats of already established communities. More energy should be spent supporting the developers. Establishing a great and diverse community for games is awesome, but that community will naturally expand if you make a generally good game. Aggressive advertising is one thing. Being an asshole with ads is an entirely different play. Because of these things, I am wary about EA's confidence in their upcoming games if this is what they do to market their product. Exhibit 3, and possibly the biggest: SimCity DRM, launch issues, and public communication. This issue has been beaten to death, but I never grow tired of harping on it. I feel buying a game that has always online digital rights management and the game being dependent on access to public servers is just a long-term rental. You don't really own what you pay for. When the game servers finally shut down, everything that you have worked for is gone. All those hundreds of hours of building cities just gone to the wind. The piracy phobia is affecting legitimate consumers. More people with busy lifestyles are playing games and are punished, therefore, by DRM. What if your career had you travel a lot, sit through many commutes, airports and airplanes, with no practical consistent access to stable internet? How are you going to play during what little free time you have? The worst part of EA during SimCity's launch was how it dealt with customers. They blatantly lied about SimCity needing to be 100% online, when a modder showed that it obviously didn't. The multiplayer features weren't working when the game launched, and many aspects of the game are still broken today. Then, EA makes a surprising but legitimately apologetic and courteous gesture by offering free games to those who struggled through SimCity launch issues. They continue to try to make the public forget about this disaster by releasing information about Battlefield 4 and getting people excited. But those things are not an excuse to continue these practices. SimCity's disaster quieted down because EA is remaining silent about SimCity. I encourage you to read this Rock Paper Shotgun article that I am linking in the description. If we continue to let this go, then EA will continue to do whatever they want with their consumers. The only true way to let EA know that we don't like what they are doing is not to make angry videos on YouTube, but to stop buying their games in which they have single player DRM, so you don't have to deal with this headache and complain after the fact. In this case, inaction is the best form of action. Exhibit 4. Existing. The fact that EA exists is a crime upon gaming. As for me personally, I am still deeply enamored with EA franchises Battlefield and Crysis. I will keep playing them because from when you hit the start button to when you turn off the game, you are still playing a DICE or a Crytek game. But when you press start on SimCity, you are not playing a Maxis game, you are playing an EA game. When you press start on Mass Effect, you're not playing a BioWare game, you're playing an EA game. I have learned my lesson and will not be buying a single player DRM game from EA anymore. The way it looks now, I will still get Battlefield 4 though. In summary, if we the gamers want to be treated better, it's up to us to speak with our wallets to show EA what we want. In the games where EA manages well, you should buy them to show that this is the better way to go. In games where you dislike their business practice, don't buy them, or use GameStop's rental service so EA doesn't get your money. Not buying them is the better option, as it lowers the player count. I really hope you enjoyed this commentary. Let me know what you think and what your opinions are and what you plan to do. Be sure to leave a like rating, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you next video.